see me. I'm good here.
All right, man. You scoot over that way. Right there. All right, mic check.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Not really. I'm joking. We're good. All right, and we're just gonna go for it. Fuck it. Let's do it. What's up?
Hey, man. How y'all doing, man? Welcome to J Naturals. J Natural. What we call it? What's today? Thursday. It's Throwback Thursday, man. But
I don't know if it's Thursday, man. I don't know when this is dropping, man.
Sometimes I get lost in the days, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But yeah, man. I just wanted to come out and reach out to the people out here in the Bay, man. It's been a long time coming, and definitely wanted to give shout outs and big support to my boy Jordon and my boy Will Model for Toys. Hey, man, definitely want to thank you for having me.
Come on, man.
It's just like,
it's time, man.
We've passed due, bro.
We'll talk about
excited.
J Natural. Let's start from the beginning, man. How old are you?
Hey, man. So I am 28 years old, bro. I'm 28 years old.
Young.
I come from San Francisco, California. You know, the slums of HP, and definitely, I can definitely say it's paved the way and raised me to be the man I am today. You know, Fly Guy himself. You know, just entered the building, man.
Talk about it.
I mean, I'm coming from the Bay, so it's all about originality, man. I made my move and made my decision to go to college, further my education and do the same things that every young man, male, supposed to be doing. That's what your parents is advertising and tell you, what to do. Go to school, get good grades, to come out with a degree and get a good job and work 40 hours a week for 40 years of my life. I did that, but I had to stop at a point, man, where it's time to do my own thing, follow my dreams, bro, and stay true to myself. So
okay, wait, man, you're going so fast, man. I have questions. San Francisco.
It's good.
Now, from San Francisco, the misconception about San Francisco is it's this happy place and there's butterflies and rainbow flags.
Hey.
Talk about
everything that's glitter ain't gold. That's what I'm saying, man. Coming from San Francisco, bro, where you born and raised there, it looks good on TV.
Right.
It's great for the tourist attraction, but if you take it to the grimy and gritty streets where I grew up at Hunters Point, man, Harbor, West Point, Double Rock, Sunnydale, Fillmore, like it's people out there that's really, really making it. And
right.
There's people that's out there that's really, really, surviving to live and living to survive type of thing. So, I mean, I'm just happy to be one that had made it out, but I'm not trying to be one to make it out and not come back to give back. So,
right.
Like, for the people that don't know, you got to go check it out if you ain't been there. Like I said, it's great for tourist attraction, but if you really want to know where I come from and, the streets that raised me, you gotta hit the streets with me, man, and see how I was living, growing up.
How were you living, man?
90,
talk about it.
All right, 90 to 96, grew up in West Point, man. If you really want to take it back to the roots and
we want to know the roots, man. The streets need to know.
90, 96, man, grew up West Point, Hunters Point, and then from 96, we then moved over to Harbor Road, and that's that was good from 96 to 2006. That was pretty much the platform where I became the man I knew I was going to be.
Right.
And I mean, only thing was I just stayed out the beef type of thing. Stayed out the way, but always remained in good contact with good people. I mean, I wasn't trying to be those type of people that can't go in a certain part of the town,
right.
Because of my image or who I am or, where I stay that don't define who I am. So from there, it was 96. We had left and moved. Went to Potrero, don't really give you the exclusive behind the scenes.
That's what we want.
And then from there, high school, it was just like, boom. Brother grew up, brother went to college, and I'm like, man, I'm the man of the house type of thing, man. So had to step it up for moms and my sister, you feel me, to pave the way, just to let them know that, I mean, Julius set the tone, and I just got to, bring it on home. It's kind of like a home run. He got the first base, man. It's time for me to bring it on home. So, I'm just...
So you have siblings?
Oh, I got 2 siblings. Okay. 3 siblings, excuse me. Sometimes he don't like to be claimed or don't want me to claim him. Let me keep it 100, Now, I got Maurice, he's my older brother. I don't give out ages, but he almost 40. He an OG in the game, man.
Right.
Big shout out to that Golden State Hustlers, bro. Then, I got Drew Diz. Drew Diz was like a father figure to me, bro. He really kind of paved the way for greatness. You know, he kind of laid down that yellow brick road.
Right.
You know, and I just got a chance to explore and be behind him. And I mean, he a lot of the reason why I am the person I am today. I am the way I am. You know, I mean, just having someone to look up to and guide you in a direction and know that they ain't gonna steer you in the wrong direction. You know, it's kind of big coming from where I'm coming from. You know, there's a lot of people that didn't make 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You know, he definitely put himself in a position to where he wasn't going to be one of them, but he also made sure that I wasn't going to be one of them, you know. And then I got my little sister, Davi, who's still in the city, you know, but she is making do because she had an addition to the family named Tamani. And the crazy thing is, bro, genes are strong. Everybody keeps saying I look like my man, my little man. Like, you feel me? It's like, I'm just saying, she asked for it. You feel me?
Right.
But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. But when he came out, bro, it's like, you know, kind of breath of fresh air, having an additional to the family of a family of 5. You know.
Right.
I grew up with Samoans and Tongans and Asians, where they got, you know, the culture is big. You know, they got big families. You know, so I always admired it and always wanted the same thing. So now, you know, now that I got Tamani in the building, we got Ju Quattro in the building. You know, everybody waiting for me.
Right.
You know, so
is it time for you?
I think it is. You know, I mean,
28. Have
28, 30.
Have you lived your life to the point to where you are ready for a kid?
I can say, yeah, I've explored enough. You know, I wasn't like Dora. You feel me? I didn't have a map. I was just out there in the wilderness. You feel me? I was like, you know, searching for the prey. You know, and then again, it gets to a point where all that gets old, you know, waking up with a hangover or just partying. Like, I lived that in college, you know.
Right.
Like I said, that's a whole nother interview, you feel me? If you want to get into the college thing, you know what I'm saying?
Part 2, guys, for part 2.
But I've paved my way, you know, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've learned from a lot of my mistakes, and it's just all about personal development, you know, growth. And once you have reached a peak where you feel that you're ready for that next step, you're ready to cross that bridge into real manhood, you know, that's settling down, finding a wife, having kids, and being able to provide for your seeds and your family. You know, that's the only thing I haven't done.
But is that real manhood? I mean, looking at social media, you would think real you might not, maybe real manhood is something else nowadays.
Man, just generation. I mean, like I said, we grew up in different times, bro, so it's all about being able to own up to your responsibilities, you know. Right. You out there do grown man stuff. You got to be able to take care of grown man responsibilities, and a lot of people ain't showing that kind of, you know, admiration of themselves. You know, they ain't showing that kind of character, you know. And all of that ties into the household that you was raised in. You feel me? And it tells you how your parents was raised. You know, it's just a cycle that repeats itself. So sometimes the cycle got to be broken. You know what I mean? I give a lot of props to Jordon, bro, because he really paved the way to break that cycle. You know, I mean, following his dreams, you know, being a wrestler, you feel like that's a big deal coming from San Francisco, bro. And it's all about the ones that, you know, support you and find out, you know, the people that know you the most support you the least. So we trying to, you know, change that cycle. You know, people don't know who he is as a person. They just know Jordon. Right. You know, if they got to know who he was, bro, I'm telling you, he'll have a lot more fans, you know, but like, it's just when he go to a whole different city or town where he ain't even, you know, debuted, and the people just love him, bro. Like, that's real love, you know. People that don't know you from a can of paint but support your movement and what you're doing, like, that shows me that, I mean, dreams are possible. You know, I mean, no matter how much you fight and talk about the excuses that may come up, it's just all about staying true to yourself at the end of the day. And everything will end up falling in place as long as you know, make it happen. So
you know yourself.
I'm still getting to know myself because I'm getting to know a part of me that I knew existed, but I haven't tapped in yet, if that makes sense.
You need to break it down for the streets, man.
Like, you know, you've always knew yourself as a single person, you feel me?
Right.
Coming and going as you please, doing what you want, when you want, with whomever you want, for however long you want.
Right.
Now, you know, it's not like that. I can't just pop up, hey, I'm in town, come holler at, you know. I can't just be there if I can't just pop up, you know. It's a lot more important things that come before all of that, you know. And even now, like I said, I'm not even on that level no more. Like, feel me? I'm a lot more mellowed down.
Right.
You know, I mean, And I just want to portray myself as the right person that I know that I am. You know, I don't want to put up a persona. I don't want to put up a front. You know, I want you to be able to see me in full-fledged, you know, 100 degrees,
right?
You know, 360. Like, I want to show you my shine in the darkness. A lot of people want to see the shine, but not the grind, you know. So
right.
I'm willing to, you know, dive in and show you how I grind for my glory, you know. And I'm just trying to live to be able to tell my story and, you know, guide the ones that's coming up after me, you know, and continue to pave the way for the ones that have paved before me. So that's me, you know.
Is there any pressure for that?
I'll say it is. You know, just coming from making that whole transition, you know, I've always wanted to do me, but then I found out it's not always about me, you know.
Right.
And as you grow as a person and to your person, you will know that it's not always about you, you know, and a lot of things come back tenfold. So I try not to be as selfish as I used to be, you know.
Right.
But then again, I like to give because, I mean, ain't nothing like seeing a precious smile, you know. And I mean, that's a lot that people ain't seen in me yet, you know. But that's the growth that I've, you know, developed to be along the years, you know.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep it steady, keep it 100. That's just I want you to be able to see the growth in me as a person. You know, like, dang, Javon used to wild out in high school. Dang, Javon used to wild out in college. You know, oh dang, Javon, he done grown up now. Like, you know, it's stages.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I just want my transition to be the same as anything else. Whether you shoot a video, you know,
right.
You're watching a movie, the transitions is what keep you engaged and what's gonna happen next. You know.
Right.
So I want to keep people engaged in what's going to happen next. Like, you know, I don't like to be predictable.
Got to mix it up, huh?
Hey, you know, got to keep them guessing, man.
So we got darkness. What does that look like? Is it depressing, suicidal, or is it like what's your darkness? You know, everybody has a different darkness.
Hey, I mean, we ain't gonna get into that side.
No, not right now.
Yeah, it's
okay, in a little bit, you just have some.
Hey, man. Like I said, I watched that, bro. I look forward to it, but man, I know it's hard work. The darkness.
I mean, not going too deep, but I mean, like, did you have to get out alone, or did you have a support system to kind of help you? Are you even open about being supported?
Hey, bro, ain't nothing wrong with asking, you know, for a handout. Not a handout, but like a helping hand, you know.
Right.
If you're down and out and you can't swallow your pride to help you, to ask somebody for help or guidance or some advice, you know, anything, then, I mean, that just shows how selfish you are within yourself. But, I mean, I like to share it just because you never know who's going to learn from it, who eyes going to catch, and, man, who life it can change. So, for me, I mean, it's been a struggle. But I have always had a support system, you know, mom's, pops, sister, brother, you know, until I met my girl who's been supportive, like, every step of the way. You know, within a year and a half that we've been dating, it's been like, I ain't never seen or felt this kind of love and support from one person, from one being.
Right.
You know, so that right there within itself, it has made me want to change. You know, because, I mean, it's hard and it's rare to find that.
Right.
I'm always told, if you got it, you know, it's not what you do to get her, but what you do to hold on to her, you know, to keep her sticking around. So, you know, I have learned from lessons, like I said, and I'm still learning, but it's definitely something that, I mean, it's a long-term thing, just for the simple fact that I want to be able to give a person all of me, which I've never done before.
What is all of you?
You know, I mean, everything that comes with me. You know, I mean, this is a lifestyle she don't even want to be a part of. You know, I don't like to really talk about it, but it's she didn't sign up for it, but she's willing to support me and represent me because this, not only that it came before her, but it's something that I desire to do. And I mean, whatever it takes to make me happy, like I said, I'm trying to give that back as well.
Right.
Although you don't want to be a part of this life, you're still going to stick around, you're still going to support me. You know, us being away from each other, time from the family and stuff like that, like that builds, you know, a lot more. That builds character, but it builds the love. Like, you feel me? I've been living with her for about a year and never really separated as far as whether it's a trip or something like that. We never been distant. So I've been living with her and I got the feel of that. And I'm like, man, why are you gone? That's kind of something you miss. Like, you know,
right.
Waking up to a person every day, going to sleep with a person, like it's last person in your mind, first person in your mind, first person you see, last person you see. It's like,
right.
You know, it's, you know, merging into one and building, you know. So I was always told that you can't build with somebody that ain't willing to help carry the bricks, you know. So I got somebody that's willing to carry the bricks, you know, willing to help guide and stack, and you know, the support system it's just been A1, you know. So big shouts out to Natalie Smaller, you know.
Calling her out. There we go.
Hey, I'm just saying, you know, it's just a simple fact that I got to pay my respects and give it where it's due. And this woman has held me down, you know, from day one, April 9th, 2016, bro.
Like it was a date, like he was locked up or something.
Hey, bro, you remember the bad times, you got to remember the good. You know, you don't only pray when you're having a problem, you got to pray when everything good, you know?
Right.
You don't just always call out for help when things is going bad. You know, you show appreciation when things is going good, because that's what, you know, keeps it coming back full cycle, you know. But the support been good, the dark been good, you know. Now I'm just slowly looking to step into the light and, you know, let everybody know, you know, what I bring to the table, bro.
So in the music, are you putting all this in the music? What is your music like? Are you like talk about what kind of artist are you, man?
Jay Natural, bro. Jay Natural is Jay Natural. You know, I got a slogan I live by: everything come natural. You know,
right.
And I have transitioned and I have gotten better. I've improved. Like, you know, when I first started off at 14, bro, I didn't know what to write about. I didn't know what to talk about.
Right.
You know, it's got to a point where I learned the power of my voice. You know, learning the power of my words, and knowing that a lot of people are moved by music. You know, so if you don't know the culture, the history, where it come from, where it originated, where it started, you know, how you don't really call yourself an artist or a rapper, you know, when you don't know the history behind it, you know. I mean, you can't say that you're cultural if you don't know the history of where you come from. So, right. You know, I mean, it's like it has evolved. So, I mean, I've evolved with it, but like I said, within my own spin, within my own swag, you know. So, I consider myself a lyricist. But I turn up when I can turn up when I want to. You feel me? I can send a message, you know, being very inspirational, motivational. You know, I got love songs. I got, you know, all my turn up, hypey songs. I mean, I got really stuff that make you think, you know. So conscious rap is what I've been categorized as. I mean, I'll let you read an article about me. I met a guy in San Diego and literally called me the day before a performance with the famous Tom Brown. He's a trumpet player. If you ever heard of the song Flip Fantasia, Funk for Jamaica, like, you know, that era, that music, I got called to be an MC, you feel me, on stage, like, and definitely pleased the crowd, and everybody liked the performance, and, you know, like my stage presence. So, you know, I created, you know, my parents created a monster when it came to the entertainment. And, you know, Mom's always said I remind her of Marlon Wayne, or me and Jules remind him of the Wayans brothers, you know. So obviously he's doing wrestling, I'm doing music, but we was, you know, kind of born to entertain. Like, you know, right. I can't fight with it, can't argue with it. So I'm going to do what I feel like I'm called here to do on this earth, you know, and that's, you know, entertain people, but show my love, you know, and my heart. And that's what I put into my music, you feel me? Because although it ain't my first love, it was, you know, my passion, you know, once I touched the clarinet in 4th grade. And I mean,
played the clarinet?
You know, I mean, I was introduced to music really young, bro. So it's not about just the words and rapping, you feel me? Like, I like classical music, I like the blues, I like, you know, R&B, I like reggae, I like all kind of music, you know. I used to play in a band, you know, I like symphonies, like, you know, it goes a long way with this music, you know. I got to give a big shout out to my band teacher, Miss Hendricks, you know, just because, like, you know, that her right there, you know, that played those 3 years, 6th to 8th grade, you know, that determined, you know, how far I really wanted to go with music. Although I stopped playing the clarinet, you know, I got introduced to rapping at like 11, you know, and like I said, at that time, I didn't know what to write, you know, freestyling or whatever, but the one thing my big homie Corinthian always told me, just stick with it, bro, you're going to get better, you're going to get better. And that's just like with anything in life, you know, so I kind of kept myself grounded and I just kept doing it. And now, you know, that was the grind, you feel me? That was the darkness. Now I'm creating my presentation, you know, and building my platform to just let people know, like, you know, when I reach the top, this is all the work I put in behind the scenes, you know?
Music influence at 11. Who was that? Like, what rappers was around at that time?
Well, you know, I mean, being from the Bay, I did listen to a lot of E40, you know, I did listen to Short, you know, I had a cousin named Mr. C. You feel me? I was an RBO posse.